Listen closely. In a world that screams at you to be social, to be connected, to share your every burden with the herd, the Machiavellian mind understands a fundamental truth that the weak will never grasp. The fortress of your soul is built in silence. Niccolo Machiavelli, the master of power, did not write The Prince by sitting in a coffee shop complaining about his fate. He wrote it in exile. He wrote it alone. He understood that isolation is not a punishment. It is the blacksmith's forge where strength is tempered. You are here because you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders. You feel the pressure to conform, to bend, to seek validation from people who wouldn't lift a finger to save you. Today, we are going to strip away the illusion of companionship. We are going to look into the abyss. We are going to discuss the 7 things you must face alone to become stronger. This is not motivational fluff. This is strategic survival. This is the path of the prince. If you are ready to leave the herd behind, watch until the end. 1. The first battle, facing your own mortality. The first thing you must face alone is the simple, brutal fact that you are going to die. The herd does not want to talk about this. They fill their lives with noise, with parties, with distractions, because sitting in a quiet room with the knowledge of their own end would shatter their fragile minds. But you are studying Machiavellian wisdom. You must look at death not with fear, but with cold, hard logic. Machiavelli said, "It is much safer to be feared than loved." Why? Because love is a bond that men, being selfish, will break when it suits them. But fear of consequences, the ultimate consequence being the end of your legacy, that keeps a man sharp. When you sit alone and accept that your time is limited, you stop wasting it. You stop caring about the opinions of people who are irrelevant to your mission. You realize that every second you spend seeking approval is a second you steal from your own rise to power. Facing your mortality alone strips away the fake. It makes you dangerous, because a man who has accepted his death is the most difficult man to control. You must look in the mirror and see the skull beneath the skin. Do that, and you will never fear a rival again. You will only outlast them. 2. The loss of false friends. The second thing you must face alone is the shedding of your skin. The moment you realize that most of the people around you are not friends, they are parasites. A Machiavellian strategist knows that men are driven by self-interest. They love you for what you provide: laughter, status, resources. The moment you stop providing, their love turns to indifference, or worse, contempt. You will walk this path alone because you must burn the bridges to the dead weight. It is better to be alone and powerful than to be surrounded by sycophants who dull your edge. Machiavelli observed that men are quick to change their nature when they perceive a change in fortune. When you decide to level up, to discipline yourself, to stop drinking and wasting time, the old circle will try to pull you back. They will call you arrogant. They will call you changed. Let them. Let them talk. You must face this loneliness head on. This is the solitude of the wolf who leaves the pack to hunt alone because the pack only knows how to scavenge. You must look at their empty chairs and feel not sadness, but relief. The fortress is clearer now. The enemies have been identified. 2. The dark night of the discipline. The third thing is the war against your own mind, the battle for discipline. Anyone can be disciplined when the sun is shining and everyone is watching, but the Machiavellian knows that true power is built in the dark hours of the morning when no one sees you. You must face the temptation to quit alone. No one will applaud you for choosing the salad over the junk food. No one will clap for you when you choose to study strategy instead of watching a movie. In fact, the world is designed to make you weak. It offers you pleasure at every turn because a weak man is easy to rule. Machiavelli advised the prince to appear merciful, faithful, and humane, but to have a mind ready to turn the other way when necessary. Apply this to yourself. Be merciful to your body, but ruthless with your will. When the alarm goes off and your body screams for sleep, that is the moment of truth. It is just you and that voice of resistance. If you cannot win that battle alone, you will never win a battle in the public arena. Face the boredom. Face the grind. In that solitude, you forge the iron will that makes others follow you. 4. The burden of decision. The fourth thing you must face alone is the weight of command, the decision. A leader, a true prince, makes decisions that affect his life and the lives of those who depend on him. If you seek counsel for every little thing, you are a slave. Machiavellian philosophy teaches that a wise ruler must be decisive. When you are at the crossroads, the crowd will give you 1,000 opinions because they have nothing to lose. They will advise you to be safe, to be cautious, to be small. Why? Because your success does not benefit them. It only highlights their mediocrity. You must go into the quiet room, weigh the fox against the lion, and decide. And if you fail, you must face the fallout alone. You cannot blame your advisors. Machiavelli said that a prince should avoid being despised or hated. If you blame others for your decisions, you will be despised as weak. You take the victory alone, and you take the defeat alone. This builds a reputation for being unshakable. When men see that you bear the weight of your own world without flinching, they will trust you with their lives. Face the terror of the final call by yourself, and you become the man who cannot be second-guessed. 5. The process of reinvention. The fifth thing is the death of your old self. To become stronger, you must kill the man you were yesterday. This is a ritual done in absolute solitude. Machiavellian wisdom is not about being static. It is about adapting like the fox and fighting like the lion. The old you was comfortable. The old you had habits that kept you poor, weak, and ignorant. But you cannot change in front of an audience. Have you ever noticed that when you try to start a diet or a new routine in front of people, they sabotage you? They remind you of who you used to be. This is because your transformation accuses them of their own stagnation. You must disappear from their radar. You must go into the shadows. Machiavelli understood that to maintain power, you must be constantly renewing yourself. You must study your enemies, your allies, and your own nature. This requires a retreat. It requires silence. Face the loneliness of shedding your identity. Stop telling people your plans. Let them wake up one day and see the new, improved, dangerous version of you. But the work, the painful work of breaking old neural pathways and building new ones, that is done in the dark. 6. The jealousy of the herd. The sixth thing you must face alone is the silent hatred of those you leave behind. This is perhaps the most bitter pill of the Machiavellian path. As you rise, your success becomes a mirror reflecting the failure of others. They will not congratulate you. They will resent you. You will walk into a room and feel the coldness from people who once called you friend. You will hear the whispers, "He thinks he's better than us now." You must face this emotional isolation without flinching. Machiavelli stated clearly that men are ungrateful, fickle, and deceitful. They will celebrate you when you are down because it makes them feel superior. They will resent you when you are up because it makes them feel inferior. You must learn to be your own cheerleader. You must look at their jealousy not as a burden, but as a metric of your success. If no one is jealous of you, you haven't climbed high enough. The air is thin at the top, and it is lonely. But that loneliness is the price of admission to the realm of the elite. Accept it, wear it like a crown. Let them talk while you build. 7. The final reflection, the truth of who you are. The seventh and final thing you must face alone is the mirror. Not the physical mirror, but the deep philosophical look into your own soul. When all the distractions are gone, when the phones are off, when the sycophants have left and the crowd has dispersed, who are you? A Machiavellian prince must know himself. He must know his limits and his strengths. He must know if he is prone to lust, to greed, to anger. If you do not know your own darkness, you cannot control it. Machiavelli advised the prince to avoid the vices that would lose him his state. But to avoid them, you must first admit they exist. You must sit alone with your flaws. You must admit the times you were a coward, the times you lied to yourself, the times you settled for less. This is the most terrifying solitude of all, because there is no one to blame. It is just you and the raw data of your life. But from this brutal honesty comes unshakable power. A man who knows his own shadow cannot be blackmailed, cannot be manipulated, and cannot be fooled by his own ego. When you can look at yourself without flinching, you become immune to the judgment of the world. Hidden Machiavellian lesson. Now, listen to me closely. This is the hidden lesson within the 7 truths. Most teachers will tell you to face these things alone because it builds character, but a Machiavellian knows the strategic reason. When you face these things alone, you accumulate leverage. Think about it. When you conquer your mortality, your false friends, your discipline, your decisions, your reinvention, their jealousy, and your own truth, you become an enigma. No one knows your breaking point because no one saw you build it. No one knows your fears because you never voiced them. You become the silent prince in the castle. Men will look at you and see a calm surface, but they will have no idea of the depths or the storms you have weathered alone. This mystery is power. It creates a reputation of being formidable. If everyone knows your struggle, they know your weaknesses. But if you face the abyss alone, you emerge as a complete, unknowable force. That is the ultimate Machiavellian move, to suffer in silence, not for pity, but for the accumulation of absolute strategic advantage. You have listened to the 7 trials. You now know the path. It is not an easy path. It is a path of dry bones and silent nights, but it is the only path to true, unassailable strength. The herd will continue to run in circles, chasing validation and comfort, growing weaker every day. You are no longer part of the herd. You are the one who watches from the hill. Take this wisdom, go into your solitude, face these things. Do not come back to the world until you have forged yourself into a weapon. Remember, it is better to be alone than to be weak in good company. If this message resonated with the fire inside you, if you are ready to embrace the discipline of the Machiavellian mind, then subscribe to the channel, join the Order of the Silent Strategists, watch the videos, study the game. The world is a battlefield. Fortune is a woman who favors the young and the bold. Go out there and be bold, be silent, be strong. I am Dark Psyche Influence. This is Machiavellian Philosophy Wisdom. The lesson is over. The work begins now.